Elijah, obviously you guys didn't shoot the ball, great in the first half. Your defense is so good. How much did that kind of give you a leg up tonight and let you guys kind of work your way through the game tonight?
We're a defensive team, we're defensive minded. We didn't shoot the ball as good as we wanted to shoot. I'm not sure what the percentages were, but whether we home or away, defense, you got to travel. So that's the first thing that we always keep in mind.
How much do you pride yourself on your physicality on defense? How much do you try to kind of impose yourselves on teams because of your strength?
We feel like we're a physical team. We got a lot of older guys out there, so we try to be aggressive. We try to be physical, not necessarily fouling, but we try to be the hammer and not the nail.
Elijah, this team, when it plays a C or D game, kind of like it did tonight, where you may not have your best stuff, but still find a way to win as handily as you did, what does it say about this team and how much further it can go?
It just shows that we got older guys who've been here before, and we might not be clicking on the offensive end all the time, but we got experience. So the experience is the best teacher. So we just go out there, we just fight to the end, and we just happy with the results, especially when we win.
Elijah, it seemed like you guys were looking for a spark. I think you were up 10 at the time, and Ryan got those two. You had the steal, made the three, poked the wall away, and Dylan got the dunk and the three-point play. That sequence, what did that do to? It seemed like you guys just kind of started rolling from there.
The momentum swung to our side. I think we were up like 10 at the time or something like that, and then we opened the lead up a little bit more and forced them to call a timeout. So we got our press going and we're getting steals and getting deflections and fast breaks. That's when we were at our best, and that's when we were able to get the crowd involved in everything.
When you play a team, Siena is one of the better teams in your league, and you play them and you kind of beat them the way you did tonight. Are you guys out there trying to send a message to the rest of the league, or what do you think it says about where you stand and these other teams trying to compete with you?
We just treat every game the same way. We prepare the same way. Just try to go out there and get the win, no matter how we got to get it. If it's not our night offensively, we're gonna get it on the defensive end. We're not necessarily focused on like the opponent or the league. We're just trying to play and win every game the same way.
9-0 in the MAC now. Do you guys think at all about running the table in conference? Is that even a discussion?
Yeah, that's something that we not necessarily thinking about March, but we thinking taking it one game at a time. So as long as we can go undefeated game by game, then we'll eventually get there, and we'll be, I think it's 20-0 or whatever it may be.
This is now a couple games where you guys have struggled from the foul line. You guys have anything to say about struggling from the line?
We just got to take our time and make free throws. We shoot a lot of free throws in practice. We just got to take our time and focus and just knock it in.
Well, it seemed like the focus was taking the ball down the lane, either passing or you got a couple nice drives. Early in the second half, you had that nice move down the lane with the right hand. You made it a layup. Was that the focus, is taking the ball to the hoop today?
The focus is always being aggressive. When me and Coach talked, he told me I was shooting like 55% from the field, from the two. So, me being aggressive for either myself or my teammates, I feel like that's where I'm at my best in getting the team involved. And I think we've been winning ever since I've been doing that mostly.
And Ryan went in and made some shots for you that really helped break open the game.
Yeah, Ryan's he's the best shooter on our team. So when we got him going, his numbers might not show it all the time, but he's the best shooter on the team. And if we could get him going like that, that's great for our team.
Coach said that you guys were executing at about a 5 or a 6. How do you feel about that?
I think he's right. He know way more about the game than I do. So if he say we're at a 5 or 6 right now, we just listen to him, and like you said, by the time March get here, hopefully we're at a 10, because that's what we're preparing for.
Elijah, Coach Pitino was at that table, was upset after the Manhattan game about the foul shooting, and said he was going to have you guys live in the gym. Is that something you have focused more since the Manhattan game on the free throw shooting?
Yeah. I wouldn't say we changed the focus, because we're always shooting free throws. That's something that we do, every day. So I think like I said, we just got to concentrate at the line and take our time and, trust that we work on free throws, and when it get to the game, trust it and just make the shots.
Thanks.
Good. One more. In terms of advancing toward, as you got about 5 weeks left before the conference tournament, what are the things you're going to work on improving to elevate your team's game?
I think putting teams away. I think we were up like more than like 25 points or so tonight, and you know, we let them come back into the game, and we didn't win by what I wanted to win by and what coach didn't want to win by. So first of all, we got to put teams away, work on our execution, make sure we're executing the right way on offense and defense, making foul shots, and you know, just being a tough team at all times. And I think if we do all those things, then we'll be good when March comes.
Thank you.
We're pleased with the win. I'd probably substitute a little early in terms of our execution, but we're very pleased with the win. We had to win this game with defense early on because our offense wasn't there. And that's a good thing about this basketball team. We've won some games with our offense, we won some games with our defense. So we can play fast and we can play slow, and that's the nice thing about this team.
Yeah, Rick, I wanted to ask you about that because obviously, you know, it was you just never really got into a rhythm. It didn't seem like in the first half offensively. You know, is there anything you can say to your guys, you know, when that's happening to kind of get them to you know?
I said in the timeout, I said, look, they've got 14 points, and it's a defensive win. And I told them, I said, when we won a national championship, we had to play Wichita State in a bloodbath, and then against Michigan, we were able to go up and down, fast break game. I said, this is going to be, defense is going to determine who wins this game. So don't worry about your offense right now. Move it, try to get the best shot possible, but play defense. And what broke the game open were all the steals on the press. Where we got the dunk, we got a three, and that broke the game open. So sometimes it's your offense, sometimes it's your defense.
Is that something that's changed about your team during the season? Because I know back in November, you were saying we weren't ready to do this, do that, you know, some of the stuff you've done in the past. Is that?
I've said that for 40 years.
No, but I mean, is this team changed? I'm saying
Yeah,
during the year.
I think every team early on for me, this team is playing a little bit better than most of my team. Most of my teams don't start to play well until February because of all the different defenses we put in. We don't have as many defenses now. We had a matchup zone that we don't use anymore, and that takes time. So they're progressing. They're not, I tell them all the time, out of 10, they're a 5-6. And I want them by mid-February to get to a 6-7, 7-8. I said by March I want you 8-9. So we're working toward that goal. We're not there yet.
What's the difference between that 5-6 and the 9?
Well, we do clips called the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we splice together all the good clips, all the bad clips, and the ugly is sort of a funny thing. If somebody falls down, is one or two of those. And like last game, we won, had a good victory, lopsided victory for us, but it was 34-34. 34 good clips, 34 bad. When you get to 75-25 or 80-20, that's when you know you got a real good team.
Coach Ryan Myers was the spark plug in the second half.
And Dylan.
Yes, and as always, Dylan bringing the momentum. What did you think of the second half momentum swing?
You know, when we moved, I wanted to get Walter off the point, and I just tried Ryan at the point. He's been playing the 2 guard the whole season, and Ryan was fabulous in the last game, and he was fabulous again tonight, playing the 1. So it's really helped us having him play the backup 1, and he was terrific, and Dylan was terrific.
And is that something you're going to look to do more often going forward?
Yeah, he's going to play the point going forward. Yep.
Obviously, Van Eyck came back in. Did he seem like okay after the game after taking that fall?
Yeah, he was just looking for an ovation.
And you went with Trey over Shema in the second half. Is that?
I just wanted to get him some time.
Okay.
He hasn't played lately. I wanted to give him some time.
Rick, when a team plays its B or its C game like yours did tonight, but still manages to win rather handily, what does it say about how far they've progressed?
I think defensively it says a lot because our deflections are really, really high, off the charts. I mean, we had one game 49, and I think I had that one game at Kentucky, and that was the greatest team, one of the greatest teams of all time. So our deflections are real high, very active with our hands. But we're still nowhere near where I want a basketball team. So I'm comparing Louisville, Kentucky teams. I'm not comparing, and even Providence. I'm not comparing them to Boston University. It's where we're trying to get this program, but we're nowhere near the Louisville or the Kentucky. So we got to get it to that point.
What were your impressions of Siena? They guarded you pretty hard in the first half. And
Yeah, we know they're a good team. They've got a lot of transfers. I think 8 or 9. I think I don't know the exact number, but we know they're a tough basketball team. They play hard. They shoot it. I thought we did a fabulous job taking away their 3, and that's we have we say if we get our deflections, we take care of the backboard, and we stop the three, we got a great chance of winning, to be very simple.
What do you make of some of the players that we've spoken to over the last week, kind of outwardly talking about going undefeated in league play?
Well, I think it's great. I think it's very, very difficult to do, but it gets them to understand. I think what I tell them about that is, I said, it's not probable, it's possible, but the way to have a chance of doing it is you have to have great respect for every team you play. And they do. They had great respect for Siena. They only had 1 day prep and they prepped hard. They had great respect the other night. They have great respect for St. Peter. So I think the only chance you have of doing something like that is to respect every opponent you play, and they do. Now, do I think it's possible? Yes, and do I think it's probable? Not in this league.
Coach, on Sunday you talked a little bit about Loyola Chicago being a bit of a model for you. What is it that
That's one of the schools. Dayton, Loyola, Chicago, some of the really good mid-majors that do it recruiting-wise, do it with their program.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, what is it that you want to emulate of those programs?
Well, I want to get it to where you can't get a ticket to a game. I want to get it to where the fans travel to games. I want to get it to the point where we have pros playing in the lineup. And that's what they do. I think the number one, or I don't know where Toppin was drafted actually by the Knicks as a 5 or 7, 8. So you want to get draft choices, and if you get it to that point, we've already changed the facilities. Now we got to change our fan base to where they travel, sell out every ticket. That's something that Siena has over every team in the league. They have an awesome fan base, and we got to get it to that point. And it already should be there, because you're talking about the job that Coach Klus did before me was sensational. They won 6 out of 8 NCAA tournaments, and it should already be there, but it's not. So we need to get it there.